Yo, what's up guys, it's Yeti here. So in today's video, I got a pretty interesting topic, and it's the recent discussion in the World of Warcraft community about which add-ons you actually need. Should add-ons be allowed? Do add-ons give you a competitive advantage? And all sorts of questions are popping up in the community. But today I want to show you a clip, a video of my friend killing Queen Ansric on Mythic, basically without any add-ons. This is roughly in the 500 range of ladder in the guilds. So this is not Hall of Fame, but it's definitely an above average guild and above average player. His logs are usually really high. He plays as a healer. This is his healing frames right here. And we will go over the add-ons he actually uses and what, in my opinion, should be done about add-ons. I'll just play you a few seconds of the clip so you guys can see this is legit. He has all these things on his screen. He is using default nameplates. He is using default raid frames. He has a centered weak aura for cooldowns, which could be also done by, dragging these bars kind of in the center. And then he has details. That is pretty much everything that he has added himself. Now, he of course has weak auras, which his guild forced upon him, because, weak auras are often in packs that work with one another. And he is also using timers. So he is using, I believe, bigwigs right here, which also presents this countdown right here. And behind my webcam right here, you can see the method raid tool timers. So even with, add-ons like these, he is able to get cutting edge. So when I spoke to him about this, he told me that every single add-on he is using is to his competitive advantage. He does not care how his UI looks. All he cares about is having good frames per second and the ability to perform well, to parse high, to do a lot of healing, and to do a lot of damage. And I think he is such a good example of why add-ons should probably not exist in World of Warcraft, because technically speaking, if we strip everything from him, so the weak auras, which are obviously there to make the fights easier, they are, giving you a competitive advantage, and players are almost forced to have them in high end game. Timers, like bigwigs and DPM, again, are only here to serve a purpose to make fights easier. They do not make the UI look better. They do not make, the game feel better. They are legitimately there just to give you a competitive advantage. And of course, timers for healing cooldowns are there also as a way to tell you when to use a certain healing button to, again, make the fights a lot easier. And all of these add-ons that he is using are going to negatively impact those players who are not able to get them or don't know that these exist. Like sometimes when I'm playing Mythic Plus, even people in the 3K range are asking me, wait, Yeti, did you know there's a weak aura pack that literally tells you everything that's going on in a dungeon regarding monsters or bosses? Yes, I do know that. And that's why I probably skipped so much of the learning process, because I had every single information thrown right at me. So I think his UI is such a good argument about why World of Warcraft UI should be completely strict naked. We should not have the ability to use any add-ons like this. The only thing that I could maybe argue for is the combat rest timer right here that he is using, because I do not think you can see this in the base UI of the game. But legitimately everything else, I would say, is purely there for the competitive advantage. And if we would remove, timers, if we would remove the ability to, have weak auras pop up when you should use certain things, we could make the fights a lot simpler, and we could also make the game a lot more, baseline level, regardless of if somebody is using add-ons or not. So I think this is, the best argument out there I can have. I don't know why we're even talking about this. I do think that removing add-ons from World of Warcraft entirely would be, in my opinion, the best solution. Sure, the WoW UI is sometimes ugly. Sure, there are sometimes smaller pieces of information missing. But generally speaking, if we remove all of this, and then we actually force Blizzard to add some of these features into the UI, and we no longer use timers, we no longer use weak auras, we no longer use rough assignments of CDs. Instead, we have a slower game where we are able to feel the damage, and we know, oh, the boss is casting something because we see the cast bar. We are more alert on that. We're probably also going to be doing less damage because we won't have these centered UIs that are tracking, all the stacks, all the buffs, all the timers perfectly, all that stuff. We would instead have a bit of a slower game where we'd be able to play kind of, spell by spell. We would be able to focus on the actual environment around us. And that way, I think the game could be made like 20% easier, 30% easier, and the success rate would be very similar to how it is now. I'm not sure about the exact percentage, because if you would remove these add-ons, we would also obviously have a lot more people, doing wrong rotations. People would probably not even use defensives because they would forget that, something is coming up. So I think the community would have to relearn the game, but I think this would be such a net good for World of Warcraft. And yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today, and I wanted your guys' thoughts as well. So let me know in the comments. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.